in being dazzling. It's the power of being unencumbered. We are encumbered by the way we think. It's staggering how ineffective it makes us. For us to push something new, a different way to think, a different way to look at any given issue is the hardest thing on the planet for us to do. We never change, we seldom change the way we think. This is one of my heroes, this is John Wooden. I grew up in the shadow of Holly Pavilion in Southern California during John Wooden's heyday. If you don't know who John Wooden is, passed away not too long ago, an unbelievably sad day for me. Wooden won 10 out of 11, and 10 years out of 11 years won the NCAA basketball championship. Coached some of the greatest players of all time. In those days, Lou Alcindor, who became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton, Keith Wilkes, who later became Jamal Wilkes, a herd of All-Americans. Wooden was dazzling in his approach, and I'll give you the first day of practice every single year. These are the highest ranked high school players on the planet that get selected to go to UCLA, especially after they won their first 2 NCAA championships. So they're all sitting in the stands, waiting for Coach Wooden. And Coach Wooden walks out and tells everyone, take off your shoes and socks. And everybody looks at each other, and he was very demonstrative. Take off your shoes and socks. So the players sit there and they'll take off their shoes and socks. He says, I'm going to show you how to put your socks on. I'm going to show you how to put your shoes on. I'm going to show you how to tie your shoes. And I remember Bill Walton, when Walton was there, he said, I'm a 3-year high school McDonald's All-American. I've been putting on my shoes since I can remember. And this is Coach Wooden's first thing every single year, teach you how. And at the end he said, let me explain something. You will run in an average practice 15 miles. Never in a straight shot, always cutting and stopping. I will not tolerate a blister on my team. You don't have a blister when you put your shoes and socks on this way. Even at the very beginning, to start with the basics, the most basic thing that you can start with is how to put your shoes and socks on. Wooden knew to build towards extraordinary, you had to start at the beginning. Rule number 2 is simple. Nothing drives my company more than that single word. Everything we do at its core is only about this one word. Every project, every idea, every element, everything we do revolves around this word. And this word plays a key role in being dazzling, because the more complex something is, the less extraordinary it becomes. It makes us. For us to push something new, a different way to think, a different way to look at any given issue is the hardest thing on the planet for us to do. We never change, we seldom change the way we think. It's developed early on in our lives, and it's why it's so difficult for an alcoholic to stop being an alcoholic, or a cigarette smoker to stop smoking, to break addiction cycles, is because we see ourselves as those addicts. We see ourselves that way. And to shift the way you think, most of the time those programs take 12 steps to do it. That's a long time to change the way you think about anything. So imagine looking at something differently that you've seen every day. You see ketchup every day. What did it take to look at ketchup differently? What did it take for Galileo to look at a toy and create it into something else? It took a dazzling perspective. So